the solution to that is the women that you're speaking of, they're missing out on wholeness and peace in a relationship because two are always better than one. So they need to get the counseling that's required to get them to another point in their life because they're stuck. They're stuck as children in the immaturity that wherever they were left or where they experienced that trauma. And it's really time to get over it. And we need to guide them in that direction. But I got to ask you something. This is a little bit off, but I got to ask you. Last week, I heard you call someone a mammy. And I was quite offended because I always wanted to know what type of woman would call another woman a mammy. Because I get it all the time in my comments.
You don't have to answer.
Hold on for a minute. Let me ask the question. I get it all the time in my comment section, but in the comment section, you never see a face. You never know who this person is. And I was so shocked to hear that from you because just the week before that, I was so proud of you because you was willing to have a conversation with another man about, hey, listen, how can we put this back in the road? Or that was what my takeaway was. Is you were talking to we need to talk. And y'all were having a very good conversation, but last week I heard you call someone a mammy. We're not.
Let me jump in before we go down a rabbit hole, and I want you ladies to come back to that. So, to take it back to what we were talking about, let me go back to the dating phase.
In general, because
also we about success and marriages, we jump straight to marriages. Hold on, get back to security.
We have to
let you talk for a while.
Together also.
We talk for a while.
And value for each other, so we can get this thing back in.
So.
To the mothers that have the luxury of having the child's father around. To the mothers that have the luxury of being able to get a day or two to yourself. To the mothers that have more than just 3 or 4 people as a village. Please appreciate that. Because the mothers that don't, I'm tired. Like, I just had the stomach virus for like a couple hours, literally. I'm feeling much more better now, but physically I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie, like, I really don't like that I still have to be a mother even when I'm sick and weak. But I just want to rest and sleep. But I have to keep this mask on for my babies because they can't see me right now. Like, I'm so tired of my son crying. I'm tired of breastfeeding right now. I'm tired of cleaning up. I'm tired. I didn't want to be a single mom. I don't deserve to be a single mom. My babies deserve to have their dads, but their dads ain't shit. So yeah, I took on the role. I took on what I had to take on. I had to be that for my kids, but damn. I'm so tired. Like, I want a helpmate. I want a husband. I want somebody here to give me that breath, to give me that break, to give me that breather, to give me that space away from my babies. Because family members can only do so much. Like, I'm tired of changing diapers. I just want a break. I just want to be able to walk out the door and just do what I want. But I can't. I can't because my time revolves around them. I deserve a break. I deserve to be happy.
was another candid conversation with Miss Ty. Don't forget to like, comment, and
that makes a lot of sense. You talked about sabotage. We're going to talk about sabotage. How do modern women sabotage themselves in relationships, starting a red lipstick vibe and then going to TJ?
Hellfire in the mouth. Their mouth.
Break it down.
You know, the woman's tongue can either give life or can actually kill somebody. And in a relationship, you know, women now, they have a very vicious mouth. You know, they're very disrespectful. They're not, you know, I want to say some words, but I'm not going to say the words on here. But a lot of times they talk themselves out of a good relationship. They talk themselves out of finding that person that they're, you know, that could be, you know, a good for them. And they use their tongue just sabotages them a lot. They don't know how to communicate, and they talk about men not communicating with them, but in turn, a lot of times the modern woman don't know how to talk to a traditional man. They know how to talk to modern men, you know, with all that, you know, all that.
Right.
When they want a traditional man, they don't know how to operate. They don't know how to tame the tongue. They don't know how to talk to them. So I think, you know, one good example of how they sabotage themselves is their mouth. It's just, you know, foul.
Excellent point.
Ooh, hey guys, look.
But guys, in the meantime, y'all get them like to share this content. Listen, guys, there's some young ladies that need to hear this. You got two women. One was raised to be a traditional woman. One evolved into a traditional woman. It's a powerful show because, see, women and men need to hear what these women more or less lack in their earlier stages and what they need to demand in relationships. So do me a favor by sharing the content. Get the likes up. You know, we did cross over 5,000. I appreciate everybody that's contributed to me with that as well. But get these likes up, guys, and share the content and donate to the channel if you like what I'm doing. You guys have been doing an awesome job, and I appreciate everything you guys have been doing. There's a problem in heteronormative masculinity, red lipstick vibe that your mother did not more or less convey to your father. And, you know, in the modern times, you know, I like something you said when we had a conversation in private about, you know, how your mom responded to your dad's leadership. It was very powerful. And see, when I was listening to you, I said, wow, that's the kind of woman I think a lot of men would like to have. You were raised to be a wife. You were conditioned to be a wife. You know, you get it. But what are you seeing that your mom did for your father that modern women don't do for their husbands, in your opinion?
A whole lot.
Hey, no, hold on, Red Lipstick. You're so short, man. I can put you in my pocket. You are so short. Lord have mercy. You, Red Lipstick, you are short. I can make. I'm gonna start calling you Tuba Lipstick. I'm calling you Tube Lipstick because you're so little. You about the size of a Tuba Lipstick, man. But go ahead.
Talk about my height now.
I'm gonna put you in my pocket, man. But go ahead.
Well, it goes back to the whole idea of submission. Submission is like a plague to these women, and not really understanding what it really means. You know, I was watching one of Kevin's Recipe to Godfather, one of his little interactions with a young lady, and she was saying how she wanted to be a housewife and all, you know, and she wanted all the bells and whistles, and she made a statement in saying that she didn't really want to be like a traditional housewife because it looked like slavery. And this is what a lot of the young women think that that's what it is. Being a wife is slavery. So instead of them wanting to be a wife, they want to be a partner. Mm-hmm. That's what they call it now. It's no longer a partner, right? It's no longer a marriage. I want a partnership.
Yeah, they want a partnership.
That's what they want now. Yeah.
Right. They say partner. Yeah, I don't do that partner mess. So you my wife, because partner comes from egalitarian. It's an egalitarian construct. TJ, what's your take on that? Based on what I just said a minute ago, what's your take on that?
Well, interestingly enough, I my mom was a single mom, so I did not see the daily interaction of, in a wife role. But I do remember my grandparents. I remember my grandfather, sitting, my grandmother made his plate all the time. My grandmother cooked everything from scratch. It's funny because in as much as my grandfather was the leader in that home, my grandmother had some roles, to your point, that my grandfather wasn't good at. So he delegated that to her. Mm-hmm. I think when I think about Mr. Randolph, shout out to New Orleans, because my baby was born and raised in 9th Ward. Mm-hmm. He saw his father and mother, and again, his mother went to work every day, mm-hmm. But she came home and cooked every day. Mm-hmm. For the kids. So she did. Right. Yes. I like that. Go ahead. I want to expound upon that, but go ahead. She, went to work every day, but she came home and she cooked every day. So I think, it's no doubt that things were simpler then. However, the principles still remain. And there might be some modifications that, are made. But again, the intent, going back to the commander's intent, the commander's vision, those things remain.
So here's the problem, TJ. You made an excellent point, but here's the problem with that. You're right, things were a lot more simpler. But at the same time, I would say it was harder, and I'm going to tell you why. Your mother, your husband's mother, did not have the modern conveniences like most women now. They had wash machines that were made of, you had to put them in and get like a rinsser. You get one of those things, you scrub it, and you had to run it. You had to clean the clothes manually. And so when I hear some of these women talk about, I can't rest in my femininity because I got to work. Your grandma didn't have a microwave.
Right.
Your grandmother didn't have a washing machine. Your grandmother had none of that. But based on your husband's mom, she still came into that marriage with the mindset of a soldier. But see, it was not about her, Officer Randolph. It was about the mission of that family. Exactly. And see, I did a show last night, TJ. I don't think a lot of these modern women are fit for marriage because they've been imprinted. And, they've been imprinted so hard that, I don't think they can be, I'm not saying they can't, but I think it makes it harder compared to maybe women of past, that value chastity and virtue, like I told you, I had an opportunity to pledge Alpha Phi Alpha when I was at NCCU, see me represent the Eagles, when the North Carolina Central, we used to call it the Harvard of the South back in the past. But some of these women have been imprinted so heavily that I think it's hard for them to come into a relationship serving a man because, they remember, TJ, when Dexter curled their toes in college. And, Dexter, I call him Chorenzo, Chorenzo, the quarterback for OU, made their toes curl in that dorm room. And he didn't hit him with that wooden paddle. He hit him with another paddle, another piece of wood, and it messed him up. But I'm being funny, but I'm being honest at the same time. Women still expect men to be traditional, provide, protect, and put his life on the line. They expect that man to be a bullet bag at any point. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you ain't gonna take a bullet for your husband, but you expect your husband to take a bullet for you.
Yeah.
Am I talking right?
You're talking right.
Am I talking right, TJ?
You're talking right, but I'd still take a bullet though. But I know I wouldn't have to, but I would.
Oh, you would? Oh, you would?
I'm a soldier in every.
She's a soldier, yeah.
Hold on. Right. Hold on. So basically, you got the spirit of Shirley Brown. You like Shirley Brown. That's what you say. Are you hold on, TJ? You all for your man? Hold on.
Now you see, I don't want no trouble now.
Oh, you all for your man?
I tell my husband, I waited my whole life for you. You ain't going nowhere.
So you all for your man. That's what you saying?
Sure enough.
So many women now are faking it to get husbands. You know, you got the soft girl era. And some would say it's chameleon behavior. What's your take on chameleon behavior? And why these chameleons are not going to more or less be the best option for men? Because just like Smeagol, the facade will come off once the duty of marriage take place. What's your take on that?
They're out there. I did a whole show on it twice.
Okay, talk about it. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, I want to say, because you do have some women that out there that are doing the work to change and become, you know, that feminine, soft, more softer woman, you know, so that she can attract a man for the right reasons. But then you have those that are just doing it for manipulation, you know, and for, you know, they have a very negative intent from, you know, becoming the so-called, you know, feminine woman. And so that's like that thin line. And for the men, you really, really have to vet very, very carefully in order to identify these chameleons and softer era women. And a lot of times, and I mentioned it on my live the other night, is all you have to do is really listen to what they're saying.
Right.
What you would hear a lot is I. Right. Not a lot of we or him or us. It's a lot of I. What I can get. What I can get anything from it if I just talk in a soft tone.
Right.
And if I do this and that, I can get anything I want. It's the I. You can really, really pull them out. And another thing that I told them the other night is trigger. Once you trigger them, the mask gonna come off.
You know, the mask gonna come off. Yes, ma'am. I've seen it.
Like, we've seen it.
I've seen it.
All you have to do is trigger them, and the real them will come.
The real them will come out.
You're right. Out the door. They'll start talking about your little ping. They'll start cussing you out. You know, it's gone. Salvation gone. She no longer a church girl. You know, forgot about her call as a pastor because she cuss you out now. It is a real thing. It is a real thing.
Yeah. You're right. What's your take on that, Officer Randolph? I'll start calling you Officer Randolph. What's your take on the officer?
It's funny. My mom used to say, and it's true, you have to go through seasons with people, and through the seasons you will see. Now, it's interesting. You know, I'll get with somebody too. And I've been triggered in these YouTube streets because there's certain things I won't allow.
Right.
However, Mr. Randolph has never. It's funny because people that he meets that have known me a long time, you know, he hears stories about how I was a force to be reckoned with.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have. Listen, man, some of these modern women, there's nothing that you can do about it. Some of it is narcissism, and some of it is thinking that they're better than you. Go find women that will love you and respect you and honor you and see you as the great man that you are. Because remember this, they would have called Jesus Dusty if he was living here in America. Because $75,000 just ain't enough.